hear the words or you see him not doing anything and you try to do the same thing, it'll not be the same thing. If you can simply sit like Ramana, even if worms are eating you up, you can simply sit, then you don't have to do any practice. You are exempted from all practice. Made attempts to set a few people on that, I thought all this should not be lost. Right now I'm sort of resigned to that, anyway this will be lost with me. If people realize that's enough, we will set up procedures and methods and energy investments to help people towards that realization. But all this knowing, once I'm on, I don't know how to stop. That's my problem. And initially, you go into it willingly, after some time you think,
there is no need for one to do any practice. One should simply be.
So Ramana said there is no need to do any practice. I think especially in the morning, that looks like the best teaching. In this weather, morning 5:30, definitely you will be reminded of Ramana. It's very natural. It is the best teaching, I agree. Ramana said, no need to practice anything, no need to do anything, no need to teach anything. There is nobody to teach, nobody to receive, all this fine. Yes, what he means by that is that you must simply sit here, not read Ramana, not do something else, just sit here. That's what he did. 14 years he just sat like this. His body was infested with worms, you know? His body was infested with actually worms. They were eating up his body, but he simply sat. That's what he means by saying no need to do anything, simply sit. Are you there? I see you people take off the jacket, put on the jacket, take off the jacket. Every 2 degrees change. You're putting it on, putting it off, putting it on, putting it off. Where is the question of simply sitting till worms eat up your body? No need to do any practice, simply sit, that's what he said. That's what he did. So, let it not be taken in the wrong context and misunderstood. I think I've told you about Summairkar Swami, Vannopannada Swami. I've told you the story of Vannopannada Swami. No? This was during the British Raj. During the British Raj, when the British were ruling India, all the South Indian temples especially were taken over by the British because each temple had kgs and kgs of gold, huge heaps of gold, because the Hindus decorated their gods with every kind of jewelry that they could. Diamonds and gold in heaps, every temple had. Every day they want to put a new kind of jewel to their gods. And these temples also had lands, thousands of acres of lands. Every temple had thousands of acres of land. But especially the jewelry was very attractive, so they took over. In Tamil Nadu itself, about 100,000 temples were taken over. That is in one state, I'm saying. So totally, maybe about 3/4 temples were taken over in many places. All the temples which had good jewelry and money, only they were taken. The smaller temples were never taken. So they took over and all that was slowly transported to the Great Britain. Last time I was in London, I was just taking a walk on the banks of Thames, and there was there's a menhir. You know what's a menhir? The stone thing. So I was just looking, how come this thing is here? Because the rock and everything is very different. And it seems this was in some Greek city, and the explanation they put under that was some captain, somebody, in a fit of patriotism, he carried this beautiful menhir from that city and brought it to London. Okay, so like this, they had many fits of patriotism. And they took away really, you must see this if you ever go to London. There it's properly inscribed, this captain somebody, in a fit of patriotism, he carried such a huge rock and came away to London. So because of these epileptic attacks, they took over all the temples and it was all being slowly transported back home. So they kept a strict vigil on all the accounting procedures of temples. The local administrators, British administrators, kept a tight control over the money because this was the nature of the culture that even people, if they don't have to eat, it's okay, but they want to contribute to the temple. That's how they lived. So lots of money flowing, so they kept tight accounts. So in this particular temple, in the accounting procedures, in the accounting, the collector, they're known as collectors because they only collected. They were not known as administrators. Even today, unfortunately, we carry that name, collector, because they only collected taxes and taxes and taxes, they collected for everything and they went. Unfortunately, even after the English are gone for 60 years now, even today the same name continues because they have also become just collectors. So the collector saw in the accounts, monthly account this is, 25 rupees to feed Vannu Pannada Swami. Vannu Pannada means a Swami who doesn't do anything in the account book. So the collector saw this, Vannu Pannada, what is this? No, this Swami doesn't do anything. You don't do anything, you cannot eat, that is the law under Her Majesty's service. If he has to eat, he has to do something. The temple priests begged, "Sir, this is not an ordinary man. He doesn't do anything, but he's not an ordinary man. I'm not interested in all that nonsense. If he wants to eat from Her Majesty's budget, he has to do something." The village priest didn't know what to do. He went and, spoke to the village elders like this, Vannu Pannada Swami is there and collector says, don't feed him, 25 rupees per month. So the village elders went to the collector and spoke to him, see, this is not an ordinary man. He doesn't do anything, but he's something else. You must come and see. One day they brought the collector to the temple. He looked at this man is just sitting like this. Simple. There is I don't know if you have seen even Ramana's postures. Vannu Pannada Swami. So like that he was sitting. He looked at him and half-starved the man is… What's so big about him? He's just sitting. So the village elder said, that is not a simple thing, just sitting, none of us can do it. You try and see. Just sit in front of him as he's sitting. What's the big deal? He thought he's a sport for anything and he went and sat down like this in front of him. More than 10 minutes he couldn't sit. He wanted to move, especially in this man's presence, he just couldn't sit. Then he got up and said, okay, 25 rupees. After all, what? This happened in a different way. Once Henry Ford hired a efficiency expert, and the efficiency expert is trying to, perk up the whole thing all over the Ford Motors. And working quite well, he's screwing up everybody a little bit, tightening the screws on everyone. So one day Henry Ford asked, how is it going? He said, it's all going great. It's just this one guy who sits there, he pointed to him, always with his feet on the table. He just does nothing. He just sits there, always his feet are on the table. Henry said, who's that guy? Let me see. He came and he saw. Then Henry Ford said, don't disturb that guy. That guy has come up, in the past he's come up with an idea which made a fortune for the company. And even when he came up with that idea, he had his feet on the table. So don't you try to take his feet off the table. So, no need to do anything, you don't know what he's doing. You hear the words or you see him not doing anything and you try to do the same thing, it'll not be the same thing. If you can simply sit like Ramana, even if worms are eating you up, you can simply sit. Then you don't have to do any practice. You are exempted from all practice. Now you're not like that. You're taking off and taking on your jacket 12 times in a day. Now you cannot simply sit, you got to do things. It's very different.
Namaskaram, Sadhguru. Is it possible to understand the mechanics of the body so we can retain the body after enlightenment?
It definitely is a possibility. It's not that it is not possible. It is just… we are still going through hoops with fundamental aspects of life, with basic aspects of life. Then you can't pay the kind of attention that these things need. If you have to know the intricacies of life, how life is made, if you want to know, rather, let me use the word creation, it won't yield unless you pay it the necessary attention, absolute attention. This is the reason why people think it is long and arduous journey. Need not be. It is very long and arduous because… see, suppose you drove from Detroit, was it very long and arduous? No, you're sitting in a 21st century car, what the hell? In 10 hours' time you're here. It is neither long nor arduous, okay? Suppose your car is made like this, that its engine works intermittently. Every minute it's on, every minute it's off. Would it be very long and arduous? That's all. That's all it is. Your attention is on and off, on and off, on and off. So it's very long and arduous. If your attention was just on, it's just a short journey. It is not even a journey actually. Opening your eyes to life is not really a journey. But to understand the mechanics of how creation is, yes, a certain amount of focus and one thing is realization, a little bit of learning also, not a little bit, quite a bit of learning also is involved in it. But without the necessary realization, learning won't mean anything. So we are waiting for the realization. If not the ultimate realization, at least some level of realization that you're not going through hoops for simple basic aspects of life. If you stop going through hoops for tiny things in life, then it would be maybe time to look at how to learn a few things. I've made attempts to set a few people on that. I thought all this should not be lost. Right now I'm sort of resigned to that. Anyway, this will be lost with me. If people realize that's enough, we will set up procedures and methods and energy investments to help people towards that realization. But all this knowing, there was a time when I worked hard with people to get them there, but what I see is, even back in India, it's so difficult to get people to work hard toward these things because this needs hard work, lot of hard work. If you're really longing to know, it's not hard, everything is fine with you. When there is no such longing, it feels like torture. And initially you go into it willingly, after some time you think, I'm torturing you. This has happened again and again. So, I'm not given up, but generally I'm okay if nobody gets there in terms of knowing, it's okay. As long as people are on the path of realization, if they're not really striving to know the mechanics of creation, it's all right. I'm not given up, but I'm okay. Because I have to work really hard with them, first of all. Unless people are willing to work hard enough, trying to work hard with them just becomes ridiculous, Once I'm on, I don't know how to stop. That's my problem. If I sit here and if I see little fire in somebody's eyes, I forget that you need to go to the bathroom, you need to eat, because I forget that I need to go to the bathroom or eat. So I forget about your bladder also. When I've forgotten about mine, what's the problem with yours? So, once I'm on to something, I'm on. But I don't see people are like that. People are on and off, on and off, on and off. So, it becomes difficult to work. So we're just working towards realization. If people attain towards that liberation, that's good enough. A few people we are still working. I'm not saying there aren't anybody working. There's some people working on those things, but the rate at which they're going, they will need a lot of time. I don't think we have that much time on hands. They will need lots of time at the pace at which they are going. You can see if somebody is reading, studying and learning at a certain pace, you can say, okay, in 8 years' time, he can become a doctor. If he is reading at a certain pace, you can say, okay, in 50 years' time, he can become a doctor. Yes? Or if he is reading at a certain pace, you can say, okay, in a few lifetimes, he will become a doctor. This is just like that. After all, it's physiology on a deeper scale, that's all. So if you're willing to learn at a certain pace, then we know how long it's going to take. No, I'm doing, it's fine you're doing, but I don't want to… I just have a life term, I don't have a 300-year sentence. I just have a life sentence here. I am not Agastya or something.